What a matchup. A Finnish civil war. Mixu takes on his friend, his idol, the great Jonas Otala. Serral, by the way, guys, undefeated this season. Oh, WTL code S. 12-0 in maps, if I recall that correctly. Let me just double check that, because the players are not quite ready yet. But I believe he's undefeated. Statistics. Serral 12-0. Oh, it's 10-0, sorry. Serral's 10-0. So if Serral wins today 2-0, then he would finish the regular season 12-0. So he has played 5 clan wars so far. Hey, MaxPax has overtaken Maro. Oh, that's because he's got one more win. Maro's win record is better, but MaxPax got one more win. 19 map wins, by the way. That is crazy. Alright, our game is all ready. Thank you, Apostle. I appreciate it, matey. Ooh, Mixu's at a LAN. Mixu is at a LAN. Is it Aces ROG right now, guys? Or, well, that's at least where we had Aces ROG a long time ago. Is that the LAN in Helsinki? Assembly, yeah, that's what I mean. We had the Aces ROG tournament back then at Helsinki. Assembly. I went to one assembly. It was super fun. That was actually a cool thing for me. Is that when I went to Aces ROG at assembly, I had the chance to meet my very old Warcraft 3 teammate, Satini. Satini was a Warcraft 3 player that was incredibly good. One of the best Night Elves in Europe. He was on Fnatic with me back in the days. But Satini was afraid of traveling, so I never got to meet him throughout my entire Warcraft 3 career. But then when I finally went to Finland for a Starcraft tournament, he was there. That was very cool, obviously, to meet somebody that I played alongside with, 2v2, played a lot of 1v1s against him. That was really awesome. Exactly 5 years ago. The bottom left side, it is the man who's undefeated and is obviously in excellent shape as well, as we're getting closer and closer to the Esports World Cup. BASILISK Serral, aka Jona. On the top right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who always gets the love and support of Serral whenever he plays in any tournament. It is Berserker eSports Mixu. I like how there are random guys just walking around Mixu. They have no idea that if they would just stare at that monitor, they could see some greatness. I know. I don't think anybody that's currently walking past Mixu has any idea that Mixu is currently playing a best of 2 against the greatest Starcraft 2 player in history. Now, Dynasty is a fun, funky map. They haven't casted too many ZVZs on this map. Obviously, we saw Reynor play Scarlet on this map a while ago. And Scarlet did manage to take that one down. Just with a lot of roaches, lings, ravages of, I think it was 31 drones, give or take. Serral has taken the pocket expand, Mixu has taken the low ground, and is now also taking the pocket expand. He's playing at assembly, guys. He's playing at assembly. Serral already has a Zergling speed on the way. For Mixu, it's all out macro at this point. No gas at all. That obviously means that Mixu does need to get a wall off going, guys, real soon. Oh, Serral drops a Roach Warren 2 minutes and 44 seconds into the game. As his Overlord has scouted that pocket expand. And I think Serral just says, I see what you're doing here, mate. You're trying to get away with murder. You are way too greedy. We are not going to do this. I am not going to play that game. Oh, Mixu, can he get that Overlord? That would obviously be a... No, he can't get it. I guess he would have lost high ground vision there. You were there too 5 years ago. It was awesome. Yeah, it really was an awesome event. I loved it. I had a great time. I was the host actually there because I had to replace Kalaris since Kalaris got sick. So I was signed up to cast, but then because Kalaris couldn't make it, they said, Roddick, can you help us out? Can you host instead of casting? And it was actually really cool. I loved everything about it. The only thing that I did not love is that that was obviously really, really short after Jeff passed away. And I get goosebumps when I think back of those days. That was not easy. It was not easy to travel, be excited over Starcraft, be professional. Obviously, digesting everything that happened. But besides that, the event was really cool. The Finnish people were awesome. The crowd was awesome. But it was a difficult time. Let's see. What can Serral do here, guys? Mixu's... Oh my god. Mixu's at 50 drones, guys. Mixu is at 50 drones. Serral's on 27. Mixu's at 50. Mixu's gonna see it now, and he's gonna do his best to crank out as many roaches as humanly possible. Try to get a couple of spine crawlers up. The queens are very far off. Creep losing 2 queens when you're about to pull off an impossible hold against the greatest Starcraft 2 player of all time is obviously not the way you want to start things up. I like what Mixu tried to do here, guys. He was just omega greedy. And he said, I know how good you are. And if I have to play an honest straight-up game, it's not going to go my way. So let's try to get away with murder. But Jona's having none of it. That is the man who did a Nidus all-in against me on my birthday. Because he said I could not get away with the gold. And apparently he will even all-in his good friend, fellow country Zerg, Mixu. Because he can't let Mixu get away with that either. Thank you, Valve, for the prime. Welcome, matey. 3-0, guys. We are 1 map away from walking away with 3 points guaranteed today. And obviously putting the pressure on Vitality. We don't know if that's going to amount to anything. We will only know that at Sunday 5 PM, give or take. But as long as we do what we have to do, at least that makes for a very exciting Sunday. Poor Mixu. Got a sting when you get all in by your idol. Oh, come on, Yona. Just let me get away with it. Serral takes no prisoners. If he thinks that he should punish you, he will punish you. Mixu's at Assembly. Assembly is the Finnish version of a DreamHack Jan-chopping of net games that we used to have in the Netherlands. Of a DreamHack Austin. Of... what is that one called in Oslo? In Hamar? The Gathering. In Norway they have The Gathering, in Finland they have Assembly, and in Sweden they have DreamHack. Thank you so much, matey, for gifting a subby to Goatee Bear as well. Really appreciate it. They probably have a Starcraft tournament there as well. A lot of these lands do have Starcraft tournaments for anybody that goes to the land. And Finland definitely has a decent amount of reasonable players. Obviously, Serral is by far and away the best. But they've got quite a few guys that are pretty solid. With Mixu obviously these days leading the charge, being the second best player. Aren't those all the same country? No, they are not. They will be very upset if you say that. I also went to The Gathering one time. I shared that story with you guys quite a few times. They asked me to cast the Warcraft 3 tournament in like the year 2007. They said, hey, do you want to cast this tourney? We'll fly you out, put you in a hotel, you get 400 euros. That was a crazy amount of money for me, so I was like, hell yeah! I show up at that Warcraft tournament in The Gathering. First place is $1,700. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, can I play? Because I would have won that tournament. I was definitely better than anyone from Norway. Besides Creophilus later, but Creophilus wasn't there. He was not participating in the tournament. So it's like, guys, can I play? And they're like, nah, we kind of hired you to cast. I'm like, damn it. That's rough. That would have been like the second biggest tournament I ever won. Unlucky. Can't have it all in life. Post-Youth is going to be our second battleground, with Mixu spawning in the bottom left, Serral in the top right. It is another funky map, obviously, as it is a base, or it's a map with an in-base expand, which sometimes makes scouting a little bit more difficult, especially in the map shop like ZVZ. I mean, I had no PC. I also had to arrange a PC. So I would have to somehow convince a random Norwegian to temporarily give up their PC to me to let me play my tournament games, and I had to find a replacement caster. And I couldn't do either, so. But yeah, I was so shocked. Because in the Netherlands, we also had some LANs like that. As like I said, we had net games. But whenever I went to net games, first prize was like 400 euros or 300 euros. They had 1700. I was like, what the hell? Baneling Nest and Zergling Speed on the way. Both players have decided to take their third base at the gold. So this could be some good old-fashioned Ling Bane versus Ling Bane. We are turning back the hands of time. And this is how we used to play the video game back in Wings of Liberty. Serral did drop a pretty early Roach Warren as well. Mixu has to be careful that he doesn't overdrone. Already working with a 6 worker lead, he kinda needs to stop here. If Mixu makes nothing but units from here on out, this actually doesn't look that bad for him. Assuming that he can save his base here. And I hope for Mixu that he can, but Serral is going to show up right before the hatchery is done. That also means that the hatchery does not have any armor yet, so it gets a little more damage. Hatchery is done right now. Mixu desperately needs these Zerglings to show up as Serral is dealing a crazy amount of damage. It is a lot of Banelings. Okay, Serral still has 3 Banelings left over. Oh no. It is a disaster for the underdog. It is a disaster for Mixu. As those final 2 links could kill the hatch, and that is exactly what is going to happen. Serral makes the perfect amount of units to not be Omega committed, not be Omega all in. But he shows up seconds before Mixu wants him to show up. If Mixu would have started building units at 30 drones instead of 32, he probably would have been totally fine there. Serral is so good, man. He finds timings that I did not even know existed. How do you map all of this out perfectly? Things that only Serral knows. Mixu now rallying queens to the other side of the map as he probably feels that it is his time to also do something. Because if he doesn't do anything, Serral's just going to be too far ahead. Queens are hunting down an Overlord, and they will get it. It was going to supply block Serral for 0.1 second. Because I'm sure that he saw that coming too. Can Mixu find an opening here? It really does not look like it. It kind of feels that Serral just matches him unit for unit. You've got Banes, I've got Banes. You've got Roaches, I've got units. You've got Links, I've got a few more Links. Mixu sees all those drones, but he can't quite get his Baneling to connect. Sitting on 500 minerals. Serral is spending every single penny, guys, that he has. Mixu just floating a little too much because he lost that hatchery. He can't spend his money. Yeah, he just does not have enough firepower here. GG gets called. Serral finishes the regular season of WTL Code S with a perfect 12-0. The man played 6 times and he got 6 2-0s, and that means that we already get all 3 points. And that last match, we're still gonna play it, but we are free rolling. There is a bit of money on the line for every single map that you play in the regular season. But we get the 3 points. Jeez, 1.2 million points. You guys like Serral, don't you? That might actually give Serral a bonus or 2 as well. Regular season MVP, I don't think he's gonna get that. But best Zerg of the regular season, I think he's gonna get that. If you go 12-0, why the hell not?